Hello, my name is Lora Lee, and this is my first video. I wanted to share with you something that's dear to my heart. My parents taught me how to can, and this is, like I said, this is my first video, and I wanted to share with everybody. So, the first thing that comes in your garden is peas, if you plant peas, and you have to plant them mid-February. Because once the weather gets warm, your peas will not do any good. Because it's mid-June and my vines are already dead. Let's get started. First thing you want to do is wash your peas. So I've got them in the sink and I'm getting them washed. Now I wash mine twice. I put them in this side and then I put them in the other side. Now, and then we're going to put them in the strainer so we can get the water out. Now, if you have brown shells, like if you see the little peas that's floating around in here like this, you will want to shell those. And I'll show you in a minute how to shell those. As you can see, I've already got them strung and broke. Most people know how to string and break green beans, so that's the same way you do the peas. The shell is pretty bad on this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to run up the side of it. And as you can see, on the inside, the peas are fine. Now you're going to wash these. And you're going to throw this part away. Most people would think those peas were bad also, so they would just throw the whole thing away. But you don't really want to do that because those peas were really good. Next, you're going to take these and try to get the excess water out by shaking it a little bit. You want to sterilize your jars. Before I got the dishwasher, I used to sterilize my jars by hand. And what I would do is I would wash my jars, lids and rings, in the sink, whether they were new or old. I would still wash all of them. Now, you don't want to reuse your lids. Your rings and your jars, you can. But even new lids and jars need to be sterilized. So what you're going to do is you're going to add a little bleach to your wash water and a little white vinegar to your rinse water. And that sterilizes them. And what you're going to do is you're going to put your peas in the jar. But now you're going to want to leave a 1-inch headspace. And if you notice there's a ring here, that's where the little ring, and that's going to leave your 1-inch headspace if you fill it to that spot. And once you get it to that spot, you'll want to stop. Now, for a pint jar, which is what I'm using, you'll want to add 1/2 teaspoon of regular salt. Back to the sink. And as you can see, the water is up to the level with that ring. Now, this is an herb jar. And as you can see, it actually has little holes. So once you dry your herbs, and I have a dehydrator, and we'll learn that later. But right now, if you dry your herbs, you can put them in these little jars here and just sprinkle them out on your food. If you need to measure it, you can take that off and measure it. This is a jelly jar. It's a little smaller than a pint, so that you can see that. That's what you want to put your jellies and your preserves in. This is a quart. Now, this also is a quart, but I wanted to show you the difference in a wide mouth versus a small mouth. Now, sometimes you will want to use a wide mouth. I can corn on the cob. And a lot of people don't know how to can corn on the cob, but if you can corn on the cob instead of cutting it off the cob, you will have to have a wide mouth jar, because it will be virtually impossible to get 4 years of corn on the cob in this small jar. So you have to have the wide mouth. Now, this jar is a ½ gallon. If you're cooking for a big family, or if you're cooking for, say, a church social or something of that sort, a family reunion, or something like that, you will want a jar similar to this. They also make a gallon size jar, which would be highly recommended also, but I don't have a gallon size. I also wanted to show you this book. I really love this book. There is a lot of recipes in this book. It's called the Ball Blue Bill Book for Guide for Preserving. Now, some of my recipes come from this book, but not all of them. So I would recommend that if you're going to do a lot of canning, that you buy one of these. There is a difference in canning outside and canning inside. A pressure cooker can be used for both inside and outside. Now, as you can see, I have 2 different sizes of canners over here. I do have a smaller one, but I didn't want to get it out today. But this size will hold 8 cans, and this size will hold 9. It says that it will hold 12, but I wouldn't recommend it. Now, when you are cooking with these, I do not recommend that you do like the book says and just put the cans in. I recommend that you put a cushion between each jar. And the reason for that is because if you're got all that pressure in there and the glass is jarring against each other, it's liable to break and ruin your hard work. And you wouldn't want your hard work ruined. So what you're going to do is you're going to take each jar and you're going to wrap around the outside of it when you put it in there. And that's going to cushion it a little bit. And you really want that cushion so that it doesn't break. You fill this with water till it's over the cans. And then you're going to put the lid on it. Now, this is the lid. You're going to have this seal, which comes off, but you have to make sure it's on there when you're using it. And as you can tell, this is the old one. But it comes with 2 of these little things here. These, when you put these on, this one makes, like this, is 5 pounds. With this one, it makes 10. And when you put the other one on, it makes 15 pounds of pressure. For the peas, I use 10 pounds of pressure. And the reason for that is you want the 10 pounds of pressure because it makes it cook faster and harder. Now, if they cook for 40 minutes anyway. And if you were cooking them outside in an open cooker, you would have to cook them for 4 hours. I would not recommend that because I don't want to go outside on a hot day over an open fire for 4 hours. But it can be done. That's the way my mother did it. So, she wasn't very old, but she enjoyed doing it that way. So, I think that's about all I've got to cover today. And I've really enjoyed talking to you guys today. Thank you very much.